Iamtallboy Experience.
Hey guys, Peter Miller here, three-time world sailfish champion, host of Bass to Billfish on NBC Sports. Do you guys want the experience? Tallboy's gonna bring it to you.
If you want the exclusive, you want the Tallboy, because he's gonna bring you the exclusive.
It's the Tallboy Experience, man. We're live at CES 2017, and I have somebody real special. I mean, if you like fishing, if you like to catch those big things right there, those big bass.
Yes.
Three-time world sailfish champion. He's in his 8th season of Bass to Billfish, Mr. Peter Miller. How you doing, man?
Thank you, man. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for
all right, man. So what brings you to CES 2017?
Well, I'm excited to announce that I just formed a partnership with Monster at CES 2017. This is kind of our first rendezvous together, and they enlisted me to actually shoot their first ever national TV commercial, and it was kind of based around the day in the life of me, which is kind of cool. So I was able to shoot it pretty easily. A paddleboard, we got the waterproof floating speakers called the back float on the paddleboard. Then I'm fishing, I'm actually catching a sailfish in the commercial with a back float in the shot, and we have a blaster in the shot, and then the finale is the party scene where I actually throw the back float into the pool, it lands, and then the party erupts. That's kind of the day in the life of, not always, but you know, it's kind of what I like to do.
Now, for the ones that's not familiar with the back float, can you talk about what the back float is and what it does?
Well, this speaker is called the Superstar. It's a Monster Superstar back float, and it actually floats. It's very lightweight. It has amazing audio quality, and it actually floats. You can actually submerge it underwater. It'll pop up and it actually blows the water out with the base. It kind of kicks it out. It's really cool to watch, and it's very cost effective too. I use it in the shower. You could use it as a speakerphone as well, which is really cool. So it pretty much does everything you want it to do.
Now, do you catch the fish with this? Do you just throw that in the water and the fish come as well?
Yes, the fish, when they hear the music, it brings the sailfish to the yard.
Oh, okay. And that's why you're the three-time world champion.
That's right. Yeah, well said.
I like it. Now, what's one thing that motivates you?
Well, I got to be honest. I'm a hard worker, and I've always been a hard worker, and when you're able to share these experiences with others, these fishing experiences, that kind of really gets me jammed. I mean, it gets me totally pumped up. And my show kind of revolves around taking people who couldn't have necessarily done it on their own, and I take them out fishing. You can see in the video behind me, this is an episode where we're catching giant, like 300-400 pound Goliath grouper on hand lines, and I actually took my employees out, my employee Mike and Alessia, and we went out and caught 400 pounders on hand lines. So you kind of give back.
One hand line, 400
yeah,
pounder.
Yeah. You'll see them. Look at them.
Now, what's the biggest fish that you've ever caught?
Probably like a 650 pound blue marlin in St. Thomas.
Now, what did you do? Did you cook it? Did you eat it? You just threw it back?
We threw it back. It came up, looked like a submarine, and it came up on my bait. And I said, I'm going on him. And the photographer was in the tower, and I looked up, and he had the camera trained right on it. And we filmed the whole thing. I fought it for about an hour and a half. And it was an amazing catch, and this fish was just tearing up the water. Cool experience.
Now you're in your 8th season of Bass to Billfish, and I see that you do some things with Wounded Warriors and Down syndrome. Can you talk about some of those initiatives that you're a part of?
Yeah, well, you know, we're fortunate when we have a platform on national TV to be able to kind of, you know, bring light to certain, you know, groups. And the wounded vets, there's so many different groups you can work with. One is Heroes on the Water. Work with the National Guard. Also worked with 22 Kill, you know, the program where they do the 22 push-up challenge with the executive director. I just did a show with him, and I did 44 push-ups on the show with a clap in the middle. I did 22 and then 23 with a clap, and I kept going because I had the crowd. They were getting me amped up.
Okay.
So, you know, it brings light to all these groups. And then with Down syndrome, I've done Make-A-Wish shows. I've done 4 Make-A-Wish shows, and it's really rewarding, you know, when you have a child that's sick, not necessarily terminally ill, but when they come to you and they want to be with you, that's their wish, and it's like, oh man, it's so heartwarming. So I take them fishing, and we catch all kinds of fish. I've done swordfish with the Make-A-Wish kid. Gotcha. We fished for 12 hours one day, and I said, what do you want to do tomorrow? He said, I want to fish another 12 hours tomorrow, and that's what we did. We just keep going, and whatever they want to do, I do it.
Now I got to ask you, how do you want to be remembered?
My legacy, huh? Yeah, I think, you know, hard work, and, you know, my kids are my main deal, you know, so my son's 18. raised two great kids, a great family. My daughter is 13, and being able to take people out and kind of showing the world what it's like to be out in the outdoors and having a good time and enjoying and just sharing really cool experiences with people and kind of keeping your nose clean, not living right, living clean,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, in Atlanta, we talk to kids about finding a legal hustle and also networking. Can we get the definition of both words, hustle and network, whatever it is for you?
Okay, yeah, networking is really important so you can get these relationships going, these partnerships can help fund the projects that you want to build. And the hustle is continually like pounding the pavement and just getting it going and never settling for mediocrity and always ratcheting up to be better and better and better, because they're always coming for you. They're nipping at your heels, and you gotta win. You gotta keep just building and getting better.
Yeah. All right, so Bass to Billfish, 8th season. It's on NBC Sports.
Yes.
To your fans, what do you say?
I want to say thank you guys for watching. It's the 8th season. It's probably our best season yet, and we're actually already starting to shoot season 9. So on NBC Sports and the World Fishing Network about 300 times a year. So you guys got to tune in and check out my social media, Bass to Billfish and Peter Miller Fish. We've got about 10 channels. Bass to Billfish has Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, website.
You got it all.
Yeah, and then the Peter Miller Fish, website, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. So check us out.
How about this? Instead of Bass to Billfish, how about we go with Bass to Bass with resident DJ Tower One? How about that? Yeah, how about that? It's the Tallboy Experience. We're at the Monster booth at CES 2017. Peter Miller, the bass he's turning up the bass. I like that. Hey, it's the Tallboy Experience, man. Peter Miller, we're gone. Thank you.
Think big, think tall, think tall boy.
Tall